we are starting today with this one. Ever given, ever taken away, Internet Historian. It's funny because yeah, I've never reacted to Internet Historian myself, but I've been watching him for years, like 5 years or something. I think I discovered him with like, it was an AI video a long time ago. Forget. I think it was this one, TAI. I think 7 years ago, yeah. I don't know if I saw it when it came out or later, but yeah. I think that was the video I discovered him from, but yeah. Obviously like a very legendary channel at this point. I've rewatched all of his videos many times with reactions because everybody's reacting to his stuff. A lot of fun. And last video was what again? Well, yeah, actually it's not really true. I've watched all his videos except the recent one. The last one I watched was Man in a Cave, yeah. I have not watched I Am Become Fancy, Too Fancy, Too Furious, and Oddities, because I think they're like the videos on his second channel, and I've never really, like I tried once one of the videos of his second channel, and I wasn't really into it, so that's why I didn't watch those. Maybe I'm wrong, and they're actually the same type, yeah. So I guess the last video I watched from him was Man in a Cave. It's already been like 2 years. I didn't even realize because again, like pretty often I rewatch his videos with reactions, so yeah. Maybe I should react to those other 3 that I haven't watched. Tell me if it's worth it. And maybe stuff on the second channel, but again, like I remember watching one years ago. It was just him and his friend just making jokes, and it wasn't like the same kind of like comedy documentary, I guess, that I really like from him. But yeah, epic. Favorite video I don't really know. Concordia, No Man's Sky. I think those are probably the best one. Yeah. Yeah, those are definitely the best one. And the Shaya Saga is pretty good too. No doubt. So yeah. Been a fan for quite a long time, and yeah. I guess it's got a new video about a boat. It's twice as long, or almost, as the Concordia one. I've never heard of it. Looks like it's like a shipping container boat. Let's what I can say. Alright, so ever given, ever taken away. Internet Historian.
This video was made possible by Saley and some very patient people over at Patreon. Okay, music fades in. My friend, let me weave you a tale of a windswept night beyond the old Egyptian sands, where the water plays coy with the shore, and the coy are sure to play in the water, where the desert wolves make love to the moon.
That sounds like furry stuff.
Exterior day. This is the Suez Canal. Undeniably, Egypt's most famous body of water. Nothing bad ever happens here.
The Nile is pretty famous too.
Oh, except for that one time. Oh. Okay, so there's
I mean, a lot happened there, right? Like, the way it was built, thousands of people died to build it. Then there was the Suez crisis, right? France, UK, Egypt, all that, right? There was a military intervention. I think it was in the 50s, maybe? Or maybe a bit later, I forget. It was a whole mess about, like, who has control of it, right? Yeah, a lot of things happen.
There's a ship, and it's called the Ever Given. And it's going up the Suez Canal really, really fast, probably. And you think that, well, the Port Authority would call up, and they'd be like,
Captain, you are going way too fast.
But the captain, he's wicked cool, so he's like,
is it another stupid captain?
Of my passion for going fast
Like Scatino.
through critical trade infrastructure. Increase speed.
If you will not slow down, prepare to meet the full might of the Egyptian military.
2 of Egypt's fastest fighter jets scrambled on the runway. But the captain kept adding power.
How fast can this really go?
People of Europe need these Chinese knockoffs of European goods.
And they got all sorts of technology to go like top speed.
Don't go faster, I beseech
That's
you.
kind of smart.
But everyone on the crew was loving it. Yeah, go faster. But then,
look out! Someone left a ramp
There's a
in the
ramp.
middle of the canal.
Let's
I
go.
ain't afraid of nothing.
it was at this point that the captain chose to do a wicked sick jump. lens flare. But they overshot it.
Nice one.
They were gonna collide with a gently sloping sandy bank. They threw on the handbrake,
Drop anchor. Brace for impact.
but it was too late. Collision. Literally everybody died. Ever given, ever taken away.
Uh-huh. What's the real story?
That'll do. All right, see you in a year. What do you mean it's not long enough? Wikipedia, ChatGPT.
Don't do
Add
it.
the music. They love that. A reaction GIF? That's a good one. No, this video's too good. Dial it back a little. Okay, let me start again. I'll do the phony voice too. Better. Okay, so here's what
The following is based on true event, however, most details from secondary source. Some conversations were recorded including the VDR data of the ship. Almost none of that material has been made available to the public. We took a few liberties to fill in the gaps. Characterization should be considered fictional, not reflective of the real people involved, okay? Interpreted for storytelling and entertainment purpose only. We play pretty fast and loose with certain detail and the other event. Be cool and please don't bother any of the people involved in the Suez incident. Okay, so maybe it's like even less documentary than usual?
really happened.
I don't know. Act 1. Everything is great.
This story begins in Malaysia. Of course, you already know, but that's this one over here. And at a port
didn't.
named Tanjung Pelepus is the container ship known as the Ever Given. The last of the cargo is loaded onto the ship, and the captain of the ship, Krishnan Kanthaval, is there with his crew of 20. Hello! At this point, Kanthaval probably said something like, "All right, the boat's tummy is all full of cargo. We're almost ready to get going." So Evergreen, the operating company of the ship, would have called ahead and booked passage for the ship. Yes, one adult ship ticket, please.
Mhm.
Large.
That's a very fat ship.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's a
7,
sick
8,
boy.
9, 10, 11, 12. Now this guy at the operating company is on the line to the Suez Canal Authority. And they are in charge of all of the operations of the Suez Canal. All right, thank you for choosing Suez Waterways. You are scheduled for March 23rd. You are 922nd in queue. All right, we've got a Supermax container coming through on March 23rd. Pulling up the stats now. The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world. Over 400 meters long,
That's a big
60
boy.
meters wide. Only 10% smaller than the world's largest aircraft carrier. Able to carry over 20,000 of these shipping containers. Here's a guy in a
Efficient.
sandwich for scale. All right, navigator, helmsman, Gene. Let's get going. We wouldn't want to hold up the other ships. With a teary goodbye, the Ever Given sets sail from Malaysia and makes course for the Netherlands. Let's go to the map. Malaysia, and you already know, but the Netherlands is over here. The route's
Yes.
so simple. You just go
But
from
you can
here over
cut
to...
some time.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
we're blocked by Africa, sir. Should we just head back? Don't worry, I know a shortcut. Head into that inlet. It's called the Red Sea. Captain,
It's not even red though.
blue. I know. In a bit
Unless you know
over a
why it's
week,
called the Red
Ever
Sea.
Given cruises all the way to the Red Sea. And on the way, someone on the crew points out Djibouti and says it aloud. Djibouti, because it's fun to say. It's a great time to
This is like a big pirate area. I think that entrance to the Red
be
Sea
a cargo ship captain, I can tell you.
used to be a big pirate area.
Captain, we've got another problem on the sat-nav. There's more land in the way. How are we supposed to get through an obstacle like this? Should I just head back? Now, if this was 1868, Kanthaval would be in big trouble. But luckily,
Indeed.
in 1869, someone happened to dig a big channel. right from one side of this isthmus to the other, and filled it with water, they did.
It's an insane project.
No longer needed to circumnavigate Africa. It's nothing personal. It's a geographic thing. Late that evening, the Ever Given arrives at the Gulf of Suez, here on the map. It's a big open area for ships to park. And there are ships everywhere, sitting idle, waiting for their turn to pass through the canal. Now the helmsman is kind of driving around the area, looking for a place to park and drop anchor. But then, something captures his attention. Hey, what's that mysterious-looking ship over there? It looks abandoned. MV Ahmad. Do not speak its name, helmsman. Why not? Look, there's a spot. That's a handicap. They park the ship, drop anchor, and radio into the Suez Canal Authority. Thank you for joining the queue. Typical wait time is a few hours, up to one business day. Why do we have to wait? Why can't we just go straight through? Because we've got rules here at the canal. A big book of them. No running, no dive bombing, and blah, blah, blah. Somewhere way down the back of the manual it says, all vessels entering or leaving the canal must have a pilot. And in fact, a ship as large as yours needs 2. These pilots are employees of the Canal Authority who understand the perils of the route.
Yeah, because I guess the canal is like, it's still an insane human project, right? But it's still like not that wide, right? I mean, I don't think you could even have 2 ships next to each other, right? So yeah, you really need someone who knows what they're doing.
Kind of like a consultant to the captain. And they stand around going, yes, yes, go here, turn coming up here, watch out for the geese. So just stand by for a while, yep? Alright, nothing to do till this pilot arrives. Guess I'll take a little bit of me time. I'm off to my cabin, fellas. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
There's definitely one guy who's going to say, I don't need no pilots, I can do it, trust me.
Do. And so just after midnight, Canthaville heads back to his quarters to take a nap. Quite a cozy scene, wouldn't you say?
Indeed.
But all is not well on the Ever Given.
You look very oily, Mr. Historian.
There seems to be some trouble with the weather.
Not the good type of oil.
2:30 a.m. Canthaville wakes up. Outside is the loud rattle of shipping containers sparring with the wind. Loud enough to capture Canthaville's attention. Raro. He dashes up to the bridge. All right, what's the status on it being really, really windy outside? The wind is up to 35 knots, but the Ever Given is fine and the anchor is keeping us held. All right, it sounds like I can head back to my quarters then. Wait, Captain. I think we need to move the ship. Yeah, those guys are getting closer and closer to us. We're surrounded by ships like the Al Nasriyah. Their anchors can't withstand the wind, and they are being dragged about.
Oh.
We need more buffer, or there's risk of a collision. Good thinking. All right, duty engineer, prep the engines. Aye. The ship kicks to life. The helmsman steers the Ever Given to get further away from the other ships. This whole thing might be cancelled. Port control. Although this waiting area is delightful, the weather outside is very frightful. Is passage through the canal still happening? Not cancelled. Hold position. Your pilot is wrapping up and will be on his way to your vessel soon. They're making us wait. Captain, if we're struggling not to hit ships in this big open area, it's going to get pretty dicey when we have to navigate through a narrow channel like the Suez. Yes. Although you should have said, spoiler warning.
I see.
Coming up next on Channel Ad Time.
Welcome back to
Let's
Raising
go.
Sailing. I'm Sailing Man, professional traveler
It's
and
about
eSIM
watching.
user, finding tourists to get them huge savings on an eSIM plan.
Oh,
It ain't for the
okay.
faint of heart. But if there's one thing I've
Sentinel
learned in all
Island.
my years, when they're traveling, they need data.
I can't get an Uber. I didn't sort out my data before I left.
Got another one. Try this. First, we download the Saley app on
We
your
really
phone.
reached the point
Then
of
we choose
internet
how
science
much
video
data
where
we
like
want and where. Then we
everything
add
is
the
animated,
code
like-
Internet Historian for 15% off. And don't forget the most important part.
on 99% of it.
Mwah. I just gave your phone international data using the Saley app.
Thank you, Saley man. Very cool.
So download the Saley app or scan the QR code on the screen now and use the code Internet Historian to get 15% off at checkout.
It's so beautiful here in the hills of Switzerland. If only I could listen to podcast in the background.
Here comes Saley
That I
Man.
want.
Over 200 destinations, 24/7 live chat support, and no physical SIM or roaming fees, because it's just an app.
Could I have my phone back, please?
At Saley, family comes first, and data comes second. Data comes first. They're both tied for first.
Tonight on Raising Saley.
Anyone can get Saley. Dead ones. Sorry, I have a boyfriend ones. Or
Damn.
regular.
I have a presentation in 15 minutes at the UN Security Council, and I didn't download the slides. Without this presentation, I'm worried they're going to nuke North Sentinel Island again.
15 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
I'll be the guy who started the next World War without
No
those
ad
damn
data.
slides.
10 minutes to go and he hasn't got the slides.
No
History
data.
will not look kindly on me without those slides.
Here comes Saley. Now you have 10 gigabytes of data on your phone. Cheaper than most phone providers.
Man,
I love
out of
you,
all the
Saley
sponsors
man.
out there, this seems pretty
Little
useful.
one, I saved it.
If this isn't a scam in some way, as
This
every
truly was
YouTuber
our
sponsor is a
darkest
scam.
hour. But we prevailed.
You never know.
It's not an easy job.
But this seems pretty straightforward.
Saley gets me through.
Damn.
So download the Saley app or scan the QR code on screen and use Internet Historian as the code to get 15% off at checkout.
Don't clip what I just said when I actually do some ads one day.
Ad over. Some time has passed. We're back on the bridge. There's the helmsman. Captain's gone back to his quarters. Pilots won't be here for hours. Then suddenly, an idea. The helmsman takes it upon himself to navigate a little bit of art. Tee-hee-hee, says
Okay.
the helmsman. As long as no one checks the nav data, this won't come back to bite me at all.
Okay.
A couple of hours pass. The wind
If you don't end up
dies down
crashing,
just a little. No ships crashed into the Ever Given, but a small one did pull up beside it. Captain, pilots are here. Welcome aboard. Oh, hey, Captain. Yes, we're running late. Where's the helm? We don't know what the pilots' names are, so we're just going to go with blue and red. Okay, I think we should move ahead at about 14 kilometers. That's right, ahead, 14 kilometers per hour.
Speed.
The
So the wizard is good
a
now.
convoy of ships taking position at the entrance to the canal. Convoy, checking in. Ready. All right, everybody, we want to be alert, stay focused. Yeah, Captain. I'll follow the other ships. I'll try not to get lost. Hold on, helmsman. And
The more I
the
think about it, the more I think I might remember the news about this. Like, I think it was in the last 10 years, yeah, like, a ship crashed in a canal and it was closed for a while and it was like, it made people lose billions of millions.
This is a much
Something
more
like that.
perilous journey
I'm not sure
than
about the
you might
details.
know. What?
I probably
a big
didn't
straight
care.
line. It is 193 kilometers of narrow waterway. And I hope you've got some stamina, because it takes 12 hours to traverse. That's a full day trip. Some parts are only 24 meters deep. That's very shallow. Yes, and only 200 meters wide in some parts.
But remember that this was all dug without like any kind of modern machine, right? This was done by people 200 years ago. Like, it's insane. I mean, and again, it's from what I remember, like a ton of people died, right? Like, it was mostly slave labor, I think. I might be wrong, but a ton of people died, yeah. I mean, maybe I guess kind of like the pyramids, which aren't too far away.
That's very narrow. I've seen McDonald's
Except
drive
thousands of years apart.
clearance. And you certainly
It's an
wouldn't want to
insane
have an
human
accident,
project.
would you? Because 12% of the entire world's sea freight passes through here. If you blocked it, the consequences would be humongous. No pressure, though.
Among Us.
Oh, I see. Oh, don't mind him. He gives that speech to everybody. Ahead, 14 kilometers
It's
per
important.
hour. Yes, pilot. 14 kilometers. Steady on. So into the canal, the ever-given wind. As they cruise, the winds swirl back onto the sea. No longer buffered by miles of open water, the sand and dust can blow about with abandon. Low visibility. Strong winds jostle the ship. Grit pelts the bow. The Ever-Given steams ahead at about the pace of a fast jog. And there's no real build-up here, to be honest. Things go awry almost immediately.
Okay.
How are you coping with the wind? It's manageable. All right, well, the wind is definitely pushing us to the left-hand side. Yes, just try to keep it as centered as you can. Adjusting.
These winds are quite something. Do you think we should have insisted they postpone?
The pilots don't seem worried, and they know this water better than anyone. The angle of the wind is
At least if they fuck up, it's their fault, right?
catching the enormous surface area of the ship and constantly nudging it off course.
Helmsman, you're still too far to the left. You got to get back to the center.
Yeah, I'm trying. Adjusting. The helmsman keeps
But
changing
then
the
you oversteer. I feel like if you've ever driven, I mean, maybe with a bike you can feel it, but if you've ever driven a car in like extremely strong wind and you've kind of felt, holding the wheel, you've actually felt the physical force of the wind. Like, in France, we drive on the right? So like Ofani would be like trying to push me toward the left on the other lane. And then you're kind of like trying to counter it. But then you can feel that very easily you could oversteer too much and like fuck everything up, by trying to fight the wind. Yeah, I can only imagine with a ship of this size, with the slow movement of correction. Terrifying.
trajectory of the ship. But he cannot seem to stay in the center.
Come on, Helmsman, we're still not centered.
I know, it's the wind. No matter what they do, they can't seem to get away from the left bank. The wind foils their every countermaneuver. This is not as manageable as I thought it would be. Is it going to be like this the whole way? Don't worry, this is really common. It won't be the whole trip. No. The problem is we're going too slow. Red Pilot takes the initiative. If we speed up, we can push through the wind. Accelerate to 22 kilometers an hour. Somewhat reluctantly,
I mean, there might be some logic, but there's also like a lot
22 kilometers per hour.
of dumbness to this.
Engines engage and the ship speeds up. Captain, going this fast in heavy winds is needlessly reckless. There are protocols for this sort of thing.
All right, Gene, it's a bit windy. Relax. This must happen all the time. The Red Pilot was right. The increased speed helps them to fight through the wind and get away from the left-hand bank. However, they can't seem to keep the ship in the very center. Helmsman, you're aimed too severely to the right-hand bank now. We need a bit of leadership here. Don't worry, I know what to do. Turn left. Adjusting. The pilot's giving steering instructions now. Captain, is he supposed to do that? Captain, the pilot is not here to give steering orders. You should say something.
Okay, so then I guess the spotted guys won't take the full blame if something happens. Like, the actual crew of the ship is still supposed to be in control here.
The ship is now consistently snaking left and right and left and right. Turn to the right! So they turn
When are they
to the
gonna hit
right.
the side?
Then they end up too far to the right.
You're too close to the right bank now. Turn to the left. Yes, I agree. Turn to the left.
Oh my god, shut the fuck
This
up.
is all a bit tense.
Have the back
And
sitting.
we both know where this is going. It's gonna crash. Let's just enjoy it. Oh wow. There it is. A gently sloping sandy bank.
It's beautiful.
Red Pilot, we're just consultants. This isn't our job to steer the ship. You're micromanaging. We should only be giving general navigation advice. We're getting too close to the left bank. I can't keep it centered. We have to slow this ship down. If we slow down, the wind will push us into the bank.
What do I do?
Reduce the speed. The two pilots begin bickering.
I mean, it's kind of true, it's probably too late to slow down. Like, if you slow down here, you're definitely getting pushed against the side. Like, at this point, you've just got to wing it and keep the speed and try to keep not falling apart.
And not just bickering normally. They're bickering in Arabic. Arabickering. And
Very
Capital's
aggressive.
crew doesn't speak
I've seen
Arabic.
it.
What the hell are they saying? I don't know. Neither do I. Does anyone here speak
Arabic is one of
Arabic?
this language that has like a big bite. Kind of like German, you know?
The
Like,
Ever Given has
when
reached
German
its
argue, it's like
target
super
speed of 22 kilometers
intense.
an hour, but they're taking wider and wider turns and can't seem to get anywhere near the center of the lane. And the two pilots, they're still fighting. Captain? Captain! Pilots! Captain! The Ever Given then reaches an extreme, unrecoverable angle, pointing acutely to the right.
We're drifting now. Well,
We need to turn left. Now. Hard left.
but then
Hard
the
to
ass of the ship
left.
is gonna hit.
Hard to the left.
It's
The
gonna
rudder
swing.
turns. But the ship doesn't turn with it.
Oh boy.
Instead, it slides. Didn't I tell you to turn left?
Why aren't we turning? I am turning to the left, Captain. The ship's not responding. I knew this would happen. It's your fault.
The helmsman loses his ability to steer. The ship has gone out of control.
Okay, the life vest. Who is that?
Captain, Canterville finally steps forward.
Enough! Helmsman, center the rudder. Reduce speed. Rudder center. Reduce...
But it's too late. Canterville did not intervene in time.
Yeah, he was just chilling.
Shit.
Wait. According to a person familiar with the video audio, Captain Canterville reacted as anyone might in the same situation. Shit, screamed. Yeah.
Shit.
And of course, it's like, it also becomes a sheer barrier, right?
The crew can feel the vibration through the floor.
It's not an
as the
icebreaker,
bow
but a
meets the
sunbreaker.
bank. That bow,
Perfect.
raised 6 meters, slides into the bank with ease, like a hot pencil through pudding. Meanwhile,
Tasty.
the rear of the ship is pulled into the opposite bank. The bridge shakes and the crew lurches forward as 300,000 tons of momentum is reduced to zero in the span of a couple of seconds.
The feeling that would be.
We've run aground, cut your engines, Canterville yells out on the radio, because don't forget, these ships are running as a convoy, which means that the ships behind them have just seen what's happened, and they all have to slam on the brakes.
Even if they step out, do they turn
A couple
around?
of ships back, the Asia Ruby 3 suffers an engine malfunction, and it cannot stop as quickly as it intends to, and nearly plows into the back of the Maersk Denver. They manage to stop themselves just in time and prevent running aground as well. Pan back to
Where's the worst
Ever
timing?
Given.
Yeah?
Let us look at it from above. It is diagonally wedged across the entire canal.
Perfect.
An unplanned bridge connecting 2 continents. A ship collision of such magnitude, there's almost nothing to compare it to. Maybe Hindenburg? 9/11? I'll keep Googling. No, hold off on the dramatic sound effects. There's no
What's
need to
Hindenburg
panic just
again?
yet.
Was it
It's like a car tire stuck in the mud.
was it like Zeppelin?
We simply reverse. Full
Or is it something
astern.
else?
Well, that means full backwards. Propellers at the back of the ship whiz to little effect, locked in place by the sand.
Yeah.
We didn't move.
Yeah.
Merely a run-up. Crash astern. That's the most dramatic version of full astern, ramping up to full thrust as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you're wedged.
Nothing.
No way you get the power
No,
to
stop
put
it.
out.
No sound effect just yet. We still have one more option.
The sound is
Start up
sucking
the
you
bow
in, you know?
thrusters.
Making it out to put
They're
out.
the jets at the front of the ship that give a
What?
little bit of extra oomph. Crash astern, full thrusters.
So the ship should have
No
worked on
effect,
them.
sir.
But I mean, there's
Now,
nothing
we
to
don't
do.
have the
now.
transcript from here, so we'll just presume that at the time, Canterville said something very quirky and millennial, like, so that just happened.
But what we do know is that he and the pilots then jumped on the radio and got in contact with the port.
I feel like this is the beginning of them probably just fighting to say it's the other one's fault.
Authority. We've got something to tell you, and you gotta promise not to get mad. Shut up. Look, listen. We're gonna need a tugboat. We are run aground.
At least no
the
one
helmsman
died.
takes a turn at being
That's
millennial. Nice. There are other ships right behind me, aren't there? Uh-huh. And there were, as the queue of container ships piling up behind them got longer and longer.
Can you back up?
Make that 2 tugboats. So what happened here exactly? And who is in big, big trouble? Explainer time!
Thank you.
There are 3 main causes to why the ship crashed. Let's start with the wind.
Wind is
The captain
strong.
could have very easily said, guys, the wind is far too severe. Let's postpone. But he didn't. However, the blame's not all on Cantherville. The 2 pilots could have also said, let's just follow protocol. By radioing in to HQ and saying, yes, get us 2 tugboats, please. With one on each side at the front, they would have had far more stability and control. And they wouldn't need to erratically fight about with the wind to stay in the middle of the lane. Second cause, the speed of the ship. Now, it was the red pilot who told the helmsman, accelerate the ship to 22 kilometers per hour. But when he did that, they were already driving at the speed limit for their weight class.
14 kilometers
per
the
hour.
limit.
And telling the helmsman to go beyond that meant that they are technically breaking the rules.
Good job.
And while I agree that some rules are made to be broken, going this fast in a very large ship in a comparatively small canal causes a whole bunch of problems to do with fluid dynamics.
Which, yeah, no, it seems obvious that it's stupid to go that fast. So what's the reason that he said that? Like, was he bored and he wanted to be done with this fast? Do the spider type guys have, like, you know, the more ship they get through, the more money they make or something, so they do try to make this go faster, you know? Or was it just stupidity?
Dynamics. Big problems. Huge.
5 fun physics phenomena.
No, I don't know the physics,
guy,
and if I did,
Meditación.
I wouldn't tell you. But what I will say is this. Speeding up causes something approximating oversteer. The ship becomes all slidey. I'm just going to turn a little bit to the left.
It's the same with the
But instead,
Concordia.
you go a lot to the left. I'll just turn right a little bit. But instead, you turn to the right a lot. Remember how the cheerful navigator was like, come on, guys, we have to get back to the center of the lane. Well, they can't, because every time they try to direct back to the center, the speed and the oversteer means they overshoot it. One more effect of going very fast.
I will sneeze. Wait for it.
Take a look at this animation side on. Water pressure effects cause the ship to tilt. At this speed, the front is raised 6 meters higher than usual, which means when they collide with the bank, combined with the high velocity, they really wedge themselves in.
The speed
But
makes
we
it.
can't just blame everything on the physicists, because there's a third main cause. Poor communication. English is the official language of pretty much every port. However, the pilots start arguing with each other in Arabic, which is not just unprofessional, but excludes all of the rest of the crew from what's being discussed. And all of these competing voices make for chaos on the bridge.
Yeah.
But the blame is not all on the co-pilots either. The captain is
It's a bit of
always in
everybody.
charge. He has the ultimate authority.
It's nice.
Decisions start and end with him. So the captain should have intervened and said something like, shut up, everybody.
I'm the captain.
He
I was
stands
the
there
captain,
quite
and I am the
passively
captain.
throughout. By the time he does step in, it's too late. Now that everything's been laid out,
Like, obviously, I don't know how it works, how experienced the captain was or anything, but, you know, clearly there's this whole system where you're supposed to have this pilot on board. Those experts who do this every single day, many times. So, like, you know, you would kind of, like, just, like, you would listen to what they're saying and just do what they're saying, right? So, yeah.
who would you say is at fault for the crash of the Ever Given?
A little bit
The
of everybody.
helmsman? blue pilot, the red pilot, Canthaville.
I mean, also maybe like the HQ or whatever it is, right? Like they saw the wind, they knew what type of ship this was. You know, they should have known either to tell it to wait or to get tugboats, yeah.
I'll tell you. Society, that's who. You and me. And I think you should apologize.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Act 2. Society. Step. Where's the step bro when you need him?
Alrighty.
When step bro could move the ship.
3.5 times the size of the Titanic, choking the world's largest freighting canal like a greedy seagull throating a glue stick. Good start. And they didn't get very far through the canal itself. About 5% of the progress bar. But if we scroll up for a second, we can see what landmarks they missed out on. The Great Bitter Lake. Named so because the water there is very salty instead of fresh. Then up a 2-lane bit and over to Timsar Lake. Named so because...
You know, I guess I've never looked that deep into the Suez Canal, but I didn't know there was like 2 lanes like this. It's like some part of it is like one big lane and some part of it are like 2 paths like this. But I still assume you can only go one direction, right? Or is it that they alternate every day?
Because Timsar is the Arabic word for crocodile, because there used to be crocodiles in there. Otherwise, it's pretty much zip right through to the Mediterranean. That would have been very nice for them. Now we go back a bit to Timsar Lake. And here you'll find the city of Ismailia. And at its port, see this building? This is the Suez Canal Authority. Inside, Captain El Said, head of navigational control, is just settling in for the day.
It's in 2021.
As he sits down to his desk,
more recent.
Captain, you're gonna want to see this. The video feed pulls up. What? Line 1.
In my mind, this was something from like 10 years ago.
A tugboat. Stuck? Stuck where? You know that single lane area pretty close to the entrance? There. Now, had this happened in one of the 2-lane sections, they could have kept the traffic flowing. But alas.
Yeah.
What?
It's the worst case
So you're
scenario.
blocking all the traffic? Mr. El Said, we already promised we wouldn't get mad. Fine. I gotta see how bad it is in person. El Said snatches his keys off his desk and he races down to his car, rushing to the scene.
So, like, one thing I wonder is, like, there's no way this never happened in 200 years, right? There must have been another ship that crashed in the canal, but I'm guessing most of the time it was still, like, there was still enough space to pass, and then they were able to remove it or something. But this case is, like, just, you know, the biggest ship and exactly, like, in a way that no one can pass.
He gets out and casts his eyes upon the ship. My God. Towering over him is a structure the width and breadth of the world's largest Walmart, except it is also 15 stories tall. The bow, raised 6 meters higher than normal, is jammed into one side, like an unwitting finger in a Chinese finger trap that somebody filled with Gorilla Glue in its prom tomorrow. And the ass of the ship...
What?
Firmly squatting aground on the other side. And the middle of the ship, making bended metal groans as it's barely suspended by only a few meters of water.
Yes.
El Said lets the sand run through his fingers. At this point, another important person arrives on the scene. Admiral Rabi. He is the Suez Canal Authority chairman, the big boss of the whole canal. Here's the rough structure of the organization. He's all the way up here, right?
Oh, no.
So high up that he reports directly to the Pharaoh of Egypt himself. Yep, that's one blocked canal. No, Mr. President, he didn't say blocked.
And again, we know it's a massive deal, right? So, like, as you said, 12% of the world's shipping and stuff like that, right? So, as well as the fact that, again, there was literally like a small conflict over it. Actually, there was probably more than one conflict. I think the Suez Canal crisis was like only one of the conflicts over it. And it makes a lot of money for the Egyptian country. So, yeah, obviously this is a big deal to everybody.
He said that canal rocked. He's giving it a 5-star review. Come on, follow me to the bridge. Now, Al Said and Rabbi board the ship, and it's a hell of a scene. The crew is racing around. Oh god, they're gonna check the nav data. They're gonna see the dick pic. Oh god. Canthaville's standing back taking a panicked phone call with the operating company. Okay, so 2 pilots walk into a ship, and the first one says,
Is it dick pic?
2 pilots from before are
Embellishment, or was that what he did?
Alright, you 2 are dismissed. Canthaville. Oh god, this is the end of my career. This is gonna cost $1 billion. Al Said puts his hand on Canthaville's shoulder. Do not worry, my friend. We shall solve this. Come on, Captain. What's the status? Well, the ship isn't floating. Yeah. No, what I mean is the situation is worse than you think. It's the way we're pitched up on the shore. The weight distribution is all wrong. We're like a raised bridge, but we don't have any of the support underneath. Yeah. The middle of the ship could bend under its own weight and tear.
Oh. Yeah,
so
okay.
It can sink? Yeah. That would shut down the whole canal for months. Are we taking on water? No, I've had the engineers check the hull. We can't see water making ingress anywhere. Yet. The best way to get free and the best way to prevent the ship from potentially sinking is to lighten the load. We need to get rid of at least, I don't know, like 20,000 tons. How quickly do you think your crew can offload containers? No. Look how high those boxes are stacked. To offload these containers is going to require specialist equipment. The kind you can only find at a dedicated port. We're not going to be able to offload these containers out here in the middle of nowhere. All right, well, it's the easiest, most brute force solution you can think of. The ballast tanks. Yeah, go on. We've got nearly 10,000 tons of ballast water on board. We can dump that right now and relieve some pressure.
What's the point of that water?
I'll get started. No, you can't do that.
It's going to overflow the canal.
Allow me to explain. You see, when a ship fills its ballast tanks, it's filling with more than just water. It's a big, dilute, salty soup of algae, plant material, and even sometimes small fish. Pick that up in Malaysia, and then just dump that at the next port, you're introducing these stowaway pest species into the environment. Some examples of these invasive species include the Northern Pacific sea star.
No, this is Patrick.
The European green crab.
He's a nice boy.
Son of a bitch. And cholera.
Okay.
So you have to treat the water before you discharge it, usually through heat or chemicals.
He didn't explain, but I'm assuming like that's for balance. This buttered water, I call it. That's why they fill with water.
And the key there is that it also requires time and access to one of these treatment machines. And we're not at a port. It's going to take much longer than usual. But let me get onto the line with the guys at Ismailia. We probably have a portable water treatment machine somewhere. Al Said turns and looks out the window. Coming down the canal are 2 tugboats, the ones that they ordered.
Can try to pull.
Look, we might not even be that deeply wedged in. These 2 tugboats might be all we need.
Oh boy.
Tugboats. This is the Mosaid 2 and the Mosaid 3. These 2 little guys are able to pull around this massive cargo ship, comparable in size to the Ever Given. On go the ties. Line secure.
Yeah, but it only works because when it's on the water, you know, obviously, like, it doesn't take the most strength to use the momentum of the water and the waves and everything, right, to move it. But yeah, it's literally stuck. So like, yeah, like the tugboat are like, it's basically gonna rely on their wall strength to put it, so it's not gonna work.
All fast. Engine ready. Ready to pull. Canthaville looks nervously at El Said. Commence pull. Slow ahead. The polyethylene ropes whine as they're pulled taut from the water. The tugboats lightly draw against the ship, testing for resistance. All right, a little more. More.
Use the nitro.
More. Full power. Nothing. Not an inch of difference.
Yeah.
All right, stop engines. Be on standby. This isn't going to work. With just 2 tugboats, we do not have the pull for a ship this massive, this deeply grounded.
How about digging then? Like, the ship is wedged like this. There's sand like right here, right? So it might take a day, but you know, I don't know what equipment you could use, but just dig on like that side, and then the pudding could work, maybe?
It's also low tide. That's not helping. Wind's high tide. Early afternoon, in a couple of hours. All right, that buys us some time. How soon do you think you can get a dredger out here? Let me find out for you. Please hold. The dredgers can remove the sand below the waterline that's all built up around the ship.
Yeah.
Hi again. They say it'll take a day, maybe 2. All right, tell them to hurry.
A day or 2? I'd better update my boss. Let him know it's not gonna be a quick fix.
I should call my wife as well. All right, don't go too far. I need you for something in a minute. Hey, what about excavators? Oh yeah, how many we got? Right now? No, for my birthday. Yeah, now. 1.
Damn,
1.
that's it. Ow.
1 guy.
There's no way.
There's only 1 excavator on standby for the whole canal. Well, it's just post-COVID. Everyone's been excavating from home. Patch me through. There really was just 1 guy, by the way. It's local contractor Abdullah. So he picks up the phone.
Okay, I get it, COVID, but that's still insane. That's absolutely cooked. How is there only 1 guy and 1 excavator? Well, again, like this is a place where literally like billions of dollars are being passed through, and it's like one of the most important places on Earth, I guess.
Mushy mushy.
There's been a big accident at the canal, Abdullah. There's sand and dirt everywhere. I need your help. Just send me the deets, Chum.
Abdullah jumps in his truck and heads to the scene.
And when he pulls up, gut in Himmel. He sees the massive Ever-Given wedged into the canal.
Was a nice guy.
Abdullah locks himself into his excavator
Wonder what he's become.
and gets to work
It's been
on
like
the most
15
important
years.
task he's ever done digged.
But can you dig deep enough? Okay, that's how it looks.
Back
Yeah,
on
you
the
can't
bridge.
dig that deep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully home soon. Okay. Yep, no, love you too. Okay, bye. Whew, the boss was not happy. Hey, before you said you needed me for something. I did. Who's this?
Checking if he's like
Into
drunk.
this tube.
That's fair.
Also, you have to do a drug test. After the crash, they tested Canthaville for drugs and alcohol. Both came up negative. There's also a procedure to make sure that captains aren't fatigued. They look at the rest schedule and they find, no, Canthaville took that nap, remember?
Yeah, but they woke his ass up like 2 times during the night. That'd be my excuse. I mean, I'm sure it's probably like not that uncommon, but I'd be like, yeah, you know, I'm sorry guys, but you woke me up 2 times during the night, you broke my sleep. My brain wasn't very working, it's your fault.
He's had plenty of rest time, so he passed the fatigue assessment. And while Canthaville was at the nurse's office, high tide came and went. Tugs were tried again and again. Tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't work. All day trying, all evening, and into the early morning.
Get more of them.
But that stubborn ship was going nowhere.
You need like 20 of them. Still stuck there too. They still haven't called the step, bro. But
of course, the moon.
Day 2. There's quite a queue of ships by this point, and they're all honking their horns impatiently. Hey, move your ass! I got Frozens in the back. Go around! Go around! No one knows quite what's happening because the Suez Canal Authority has not made a formal statement. But their hand is about to be forced when an impatient sailor behind the Ever Given takes a photograph and publishes it online. And this starts a bit of a buzz on social media. It was at this very moment that the helmsman's most feared fear was most realized. Someone pulled up the navigational data.
Colonel?
This is for real.
24 hours, it was all over the news.
Like, again, I wasn't sure if this was just a joke or not.
The navigational data.
Colonel?
Within
Oh my god. Like, there's no situation where a dick joke isn't funny.
24 hours, it was all over the
This has to be the
news.
funniest one.
So over at the Suez offices, Mr. Rebbe, you have 300 voicemails. Telemarketers? Important clients and journalists. They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, are they? They're asking about whether the canal is blocked, yes.
And what do you think of the
Suez
Descartes?
Canal Authority could keep it a secret no longer. They held a press conference. Okay. This is crazy. Let's say, hypothetically, they didn't give many details, but it was a very inspirational press conference. The news begins reporting on the story.
It's blocked. Cargo ship blocking the Suez Canal.
A huge container ship.
There's just the most incredible drama playing out in the Suez Canal.
A massive container ship longer than the Eiffel Tower.
It's one of the world's most important shipping lanes.
And breaking news from the Nana Star News Channel. I'm Nana. Mega ship's
where
big
can I
ass
subscribe?
is stuck in the Suez Canal.
Right. Point is, this story exploded everywhere. There was a lot of sympathy to go around.
I appear to have blocked global trade.
And the internet, upon seeing it, went, these guys need some help. We would love to volunteer.
There's that picture of a naked woman. I need to help them.
They knew best about what to do to get.
Of course, you know, like, of course, everybody would have a great idea, you know, kind of like me. As I said, get more tugboats. Like, more is better, right? Hello, Adrian. Assignment for English. I hope you did well. I mean, I think your English is nice from your chatting.
This ship unstuck. All right, it's time for the I reckon you could pretty much just do this and it'd work section. By far the most popular solution.
Hold on.
Simply blow it up. No ship, no problem.
Wait, can France nuke the cargo ship which has blocked the Suez Canal? Why France? Why would we nuke? What?
But why wouldn't this work? Well, first you're blowing up $1 billion worth of cargo. And this thing is about 3 times the size of Mount Rushmore. So there's quite a lot of debris to sweep up, actually. And you still haven't solved the problem of moving the thing out of the fucking canal. Next idea. What if we attach 1,000 helicopters and simply fly the thing out? You could even take it all the way to its destination in the
It's
desert.
way too heavy.
Well, the problem is this thing weighs about 300,000 tons. So even if you had a really powerful helicopter, you're going to need like 25,000 of them. And you can't put them all together in one area or they'll all crash. It ain't gonna work.
En route to help. Hey, maybe pull up a bit.
Next. All right, more seriously, why don't we take a whole bunch of old jet engines, weld them to the sides of the ship, turn them all on at once, and whee, the day is saved. However, there is a risk of an explosion.
Yes.
And then you'd have a hole in the ship. And then the ship sinks, and then you're really never moving it. Hear me out. Liquid nitrogen.
How long will it take to put it online?
Right under the boat.
How
The
much
water freezes,
heavy
expands,
equipment
the
to put it
ship lifts
online?
up, Bob's your uncle, you love it. Except now, the ship is just stuck in ice. And then it melts, and then you're back to the exact same position. Also, you need like $1 billion worth of nitrogen. There's no way to get that much material, let alone handle the scale of that material. Also, everyone's going to freeze to death on board, and the ballast will expand in the tanks, and that'll destroy the ship. It's not going to work. All right. Last idea. Best idea. What if we just actively made things worse? Such as this petition to add a second boat to the canal.
What?
Jokes aside, one humble comment did stand out from the crowd.
Get a few people.
Actually, yeah, like, one idea is to get one of the ship on the other side to ram it. I mean, they might both sink, or it might just push it. Yeah. Like, actually, just get all the ship to push each other, you know? Use the force of all the ship humping each other from behind, pushing it, dislodging it. Magic.
On this side, a few people on that side, push it, and I really think it would go.
Well, maybe. because that's exactly what the recovery team intended to do. Ahoy! Ah, good to see you back from the nurse. I told him I didn't do any drugs, but they would.
Like, the last idea I had, I don't know if it would actually help or anything, but like, if there's a lot of space under the ship, still between like the water bottom and the ship, maybe you could do something under it to move it. I have no idea what would make sense, you know, but...
Wouldn't take my word for it. I would have believed you. Hey, just give me the walkie-talkie. All right, full ahead with the excavators. 3 more excavators join Abdullah, and they are all busily digging out the front and rear of the ship. It's still going too slow. What else we got? More rescue stuff. So here comes Rabbi pulling up to the scene. Good news, fellas. And he's standing atop a very powerful bit of kit. A big, beautiful dredger. To be specific, a cutter suction dredge. Essentially, you've got a big rotating cutting tool that loosens up all the soil, while a big suction pipe sends it yonder.
Okay.
All right, do the dredgy.
That's what a dredger is.
What else we got?
I'll sleep less down tonight.
More tugboats incoming. More and more tugboats join the fray.
The Titanic.
A total of 8, arranged around the ship like this. Notably, the Baraka 1 and the Izzat Adel. These are 2 of the most powerful tugboats in the Middle East, and that includes the non-deserty parts. Full ahead with those. They keep trying. A cacophony of engines playing the highest stakes game of tug-of-war ever attempted. Tens of millions of dollars being lost every hour until it was won. And their opponent? Unbothered, moisturized,
one big
taking
boy
up the whole lane. Unbudgeable. All right, we're calling it for now.
But why do they only use this much? I mean, from the animation, it looks like there's much more space for like a lot more tugboats. Like, why wouldn't they use every single tugboat they can get? As long as like there's enough space.
Oh, El Said, we've thrown everything we can at the ship, and it won't concede an inch. It's hopeless, hopeless. The cynicism of youth. I've worked for many years on the Suez. There's magic in the water, Canterville. Magic. We will succeed. Your words are empty, El Said. Optimism has blinded you, El Said. We cannot defeat the canal. It is simply too powerful. If I were the guys at Case and Kaisha, I'd just forget about the Ever Given and buy a new ship. Well, we can't afford a new ship. The owners of the Ever Given, Shoei Kaisen Kaisha Limited,
So it's a
are
Japanese
getting very
company.
worried. I need that ship back, and I can't just leave it to the Suez Canal Authority to do it.
There's only one team daring and foolhardy enough to take on a job like this.
Kaisen calls up an elite salvaging company from the Netherlands.
Smit Salvage. We need your help. I got your number from you know who.
Smit is the industry's best. They have response centers all over the globe, 24/7, ready to respond to marine emergencies. And funnily enough, they're the same team that helped with the rescue of the Costa Concordia back in 2012. Suit up,
So we can trust
boys.
them.
They put the ocean in Ocean's 11, the tide in Tide Pod, and sometimes...
But my first question is like, will the, Egyptian authorities even allow them to get there, right? Clearly they seem very intent on fixing this themselves.
They pee in the water. Why not? The fish do it.
We're en route to the canal. ETA in the next 24 hours.
Next time on Boat in Canal. The prophecy. It's coming true. Kiss me, you fool. I'm beginning to think you don't want to get the boat free. Well, is it the Yanny wire or the Laurel wire?
Laurel.
It's funny because it wasn't even released in 2 parts.
Breaking up. There's only one way this was ever gonna go.
I wonder what the moon thing is going. Is it gonna be like the mummy or something? To be continued right now.
It's now day 3. There's more digging, more tugging, but the ship is still exactly where they left it. And the slow pace of progress is starting to cause problems for international trade. Each delayed ship represents thousands of tons of undelivered stock for store shelves. And that queue is getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
On board, an estimated $9.6 billion worth of goods is sitting idle. The milk! It will spoil!
You'd think most of them would just go around at this point. I mean, does it take that much longer to go around Africa? I guess they will expect that the passage will be open fast.
The big question is, how long until this thing is fixed? To answer this burning question, the Suez Canal Authority holds another press conference and
We've got no idea.
Guys, another day, maybe two, might even be this afternoon. But the media and industry experts disagree.
The truth of the matter is that they're not making much ground. I mean, this is proving to be more difficult than originally expected.
Could be closed for weeks.
Or it could take weeks.
Could be stuck for weeks.
Weeks. That's how long it could take to free the container ship currently blocking the Suez Canal.
So that means all of these ship operators here, waiting in the queue, have a very difficult choice to make. So basically, I've just got two options. One, I can wait around hoping the ship gets unstuck, which nobody knows how long that's going to be. Or option two, we go all the way around Africa. And I really don't want to do that, and it's not just a geographic thing. Freighters don't want to go around Africa because it will cost them far more in terms of fuel.
Of course.
It adds 10 extra days to the route.
Yeah, but in comparison to just waiting here, isn't it worth it?
And most importantly,
pirates.
Pirates, assassins, and gay pirate assassins.
Now, there be two main pirate hangouts. The Somali pirates, everyone knows about them. But the more prolific group is actually in the Gulf of Guinea. Named so because it holds the Guinness World Record for most pirates. In fact, in 2020, 96% of all maritime kidnappings happened in the Gulf of Guinea. That doesn't sound very good to me, Mr. Kaisha.
And I just want you to know that you've made an enemy. And when Is your boat running? Because you better fucking move it. You can't park there. All right, hear me out. I'm thinking a bunch of helicopters, right? And
There are a lot of people now who are angry with the owners of the Ever Given. There's only one thing I can do. Bing, 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 bong. Breaking news. Pause for a second. Shoei Kaisen Kaisha is big sorry. The owners of the Ever Given feel such enormous pressure that they go live on television to make a public apology. We are determined to keep on working hard to resolve the situation as soon as possible. Please do not be mad. In a few years, we'll all have a big laugh about it. Yours sincerely, Mr. Kaisha. Oh God, that's the boss of my boss's boss. I'm in so much trouble. Can't do anything about it. All we can do is keep trying to free the ship. So they keep going. And going. Into the night.
Nursing.
And on that night, Canterville and El Said had a heart-to-heart. The mood was very somber. Still feeling optimistic, El Said? Of course. Well, it's day 3. How much progress have you seen so far? They're gonna blow us up, aren't they? It's possible. They're gonna freeze us, aren't they?
It's not possible.
Seems less likely. They might just attach a whole bunch of jet engines and we're gonna get
How about sulfuric acid? A bunch of helicopters with sulfuric acid slowly dripping it over the whole ship. Just make it evaporate.
They rely on me. The navigator.
Science, bitch.
The helmsman.
Gene.
And the other ones we never animated. But I'm thinking maybe I should just get on a lifeboat right now and never look back. I could go live on an island somewhere. Far, far away from here.
Yeah, I mean...
Run away? Look at this. Timu neck massager for Sally. I bet she's checking her mailbox every morning. Bulk $6 fingerless gloves for Mr. Poe Box. You want to disappoint him? No. Little Jimmy won't be getting his 20-pack of kitchen tongs this Christmas. And you think that doesn't kill me inside?
but we've exhausted every option. There's nothing on Earth that could free this ship. Well, that's where you're right. Look up there, Lil Canthy. El Said points up into the night sky. Los Lunos. Yes, the moon. The son of the night. To the ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of hope. And in a few more nights' time, a prophecy will be fulfilled.
I'm trying to think like the full moon. Does it do something to
I have to show you a kind of boring diagram. I'm so sorry. You see, the moon doesn't just orbit the Earth in a perfectly equidistant circle. It is, in fact, an ellipse. That means there is a point when the moon is the furthest from the Earth, and we call that the apogee. And there's also a point where it's closest to the Earth. That's the perigee. You know when you look into the night sky and the moon seems bigger or smaller than usual? Different distances, isn't it? Point is, the moon gravities all over the water. And the closer it is, the more it's going to pull.
I see.
Now, there's another effect as well.
I get it.
If you believe the mainstream media, the Earth is going around the sun like this. And once in a while, it will also align with the sun being on the exact opposite side. Bam. At this point, when everything lines up like so, both the sun and the moon are at max strength pulling on the sea. And they call that the supermoon. And the tidal effects of both combine for an even greater pull. High tide can be even higher than usual, sometimes by up to 1.5 feet. Now, these sorts of moons only happen 3 or 4 times a year. But in 4 days, Big K, we're going to
They're really going to rely on that. That's insane. It's a cool concept, though.
Previously on Boat in Canal.
Indeed, The Walking Dead.
Don't let go! Ha ha ha, my plans have all fallen into place.
Panama Canal.
I thought I knew what being a captain meant. What do you mean, cut the black and blue wire? There's only white and gold! We've got one chance left. The moon.
Blow up the moon.
This is just like that Costa Concordia video he did, but way less funny.
Yeah. At least the one died.
Over at the Ever Given, things are status
That's pretty
quo.
funny.
But online, there's a bit of a new development. A screenshot of a news article appears. Cargo ship crashes into Suez Canal. Captain involved in incident. But there's
it's
a twist.
Well, it's true.
Uh-oh. Is that a woman?
A woman? Nani?
Egypt's first female sea captain. Marwa
I see what we're doing. Are we really doing this? Are they serious? The media be like, woman was driving, it's her fault, she was a DEI hire. Of course we're doing this. Why am I surprised?
Was being named in this headline as responsible for crashing the Ever Given. And the screenshot of this news headline spread all across social media. For Marwa to have screwed up this badly is impressive. Especially considering she's never worked on the Ever Given and is currently hundreds of miles away in Alexandria. But someone online went, first female captain? Grody? Suez blockage?
I always wonder, like, how, sometimes it seems like, how does this happen, right? It's like, it can't be that hard to, like, for news media especially, to dig up the info of who's the actual captain, right? Like, and yet I guess we've seen it so many times recently, like, many news media, you know, with agenda, just being blinded by an agenda, right? So they just pick up, like, the dumbest piece of news that they saw on Twitter by someone, and they run with it, allegedly, they say, and then they're safe from just reporting bullshit, basically. When, again, they're supposed to be the news media. Like, it shouldn't be that hard for them to find something that simple. It's not classified information with the actual captain.
Must have did it. Marwa found out about the accusations through a friend and quickly hopped online. I gotta clear my name. Guys, it isn't me. But the online bad guys must have hacked her account, because everything she wrote just came out in squiggles. So Marwa tried to hack back. This code, it's nothing I've ever seen before. They're countering my hack. I'm gonna reroute the hosting. Not if I can help it. They're in through the firewall. Use IP4. It's better. Now, while we can all agree that a lady captain is very gross and icky, and while we all agree that she should be doing a lady job, like adding rosemary oil to the ballast water, or knitting hand warmers for the steering wheel. It was not fair that she was being falsely accused, and the situation was escalating as the online bad guys started making fake accounts pretending to be her. What was Marwa, etc. to do against such a coordinated campaign? Well, luckily, a surprise hero to the story. The mainstream media showed up and did a thing.
Don't worry.
Bringing her onto the telly and clearing everything up. Marwa even found some positive in the situation.
They actually did something good.
I was really upset at the beginning, but later on I found like the support from all people around me, and that made me feel like more grateful for what happened.
A lot of the social media posts got taken down. And in the end, it all turned out okay. At least
it's so fucking stupid.
Back to the Evergiven. The Evergiven has been grounded for 4 long Egyptian days. So tug, tug, tug.
96 hours.
Dig, dig, dig. Pull, pull, pull. Fuel is getting low. Everyone is overdue for a break. All right, guys. Grab a Red Bull and a little snacky. We'll pick
No
up
Red
again
Bull,
soon.
only Monster.
But as the
Monster,
engines
Monster
wind
Energy.
down, the crew
One
can
day.
hear something approaching. Who the hell is that? It's Smith Salvage.
Finally. Forgot about them.
The Smith team boldly actions onto the scene, looking at the ship very inspectively. They report their findings to the rescue team. All right, I ain't no boat expert, but if you want a chance of moving this ship, you're going to need to make it a lot lighter, by tens of thousands of tons at least.
Yeah.
Is it going to bend and tear and sink? No, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. But it also doesn't look like it's going anywhere with all of this weight on the back. Okay, we trust you. What's your plan to make the ship lighter? I know a guy. He's got a crane. I'll get it down here. We'll offload all the containers. It'll be brilliant. You're gonna love it.
I'm surprised they didn't even try that yet. I mean, like, in all this time, even if it's slow and unpractical, like, start trying to unload the containers, you know? Whatever way you have, whatever machine you can bring to do that.
The container thing again? Yeah, how long is that gonna take? Well, to get them down
Forever.
here and to get all the equipment assembled, we're gonna need at least a few weeks. Weeks? Yeah. And to get all the containers off the ship, that might take several months.
Months? No, Mr. President, he didn't say months. He said,
Yeah, that's the problem. They literally, like, don't want to face reality, right? They want a quick solution because they can't face the reality of, like, weeks being lost.
monks. Those Shaolin guys, they're very strong. Everything's going according to plan.
A furious Rabbi marches in.
Do you have any idea how much these last few days have cost Egypt already? We've had to sell parts of the Sphinx. Look, the nose is gone. It's looking all messed up. We turned the whole country into an e-commerce site. It used to just be called Gypt. Now it's online. Egypt. Remember Tutankhamun? Now it's Tutankhamun. Get it? It's pun. Get it?
Let's move on, says the Smith guy standing in for the audience. Look, this is by far the best option. Yeah, it's slow and laborious, but it's a guaranteed fix. Or you can carry on doing what you're doing now. You're on what, day 4? How's progress so far? Al-Sayed wouldn't hear it.
We will continue with the dredging and the tugging.
Yeah.
The supermoon will be here soon, and that will save us. You are foolish, Al-Sayed. The legend of the supermoon is just a legend.
All right, we're on the same team here. If you insist on keeping the cargo aboard and just tugging, we've got resources to help.
Smith calls in 2 additional tugboats.
And not just big ones, pretty much the biggest ones you can get. So Smith and the recovery team have figured out a sort of plan A and plan B. Plan A is to pull the Ever Given free by the supermoon, which is only 2 days away.
Now, if that doesn't work, they'll have to go to plan B, which is to offload by crane most of these containers.
I'm assuming it's not gonna work, but I wonder if it ever was something that was used in history for like doesn't have to be a ship stuck in water, but yeah, this whole like super moon gravity thing. Has it ever had like some kind of very useful moment in history?
And that will take months.
Day 4, everyone is mad. 5.
Watching on impatiently, tapping their feet and looking at their watches very aggressively, is now a queue of 400 vessels waiting.
I mean, another thing I would say, like, wouldn't it literally be faster to just make like a turn in the canal? You know, like bring a bunch of stuff to dig like a little like passage on the side? Or is it not that simple? I don't know.
To use the canal. Fresh fruit, thousands of tons, losing its freshness. Medicine, losing its potency.
After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill.
Nothing.
You take the red.
Not to mention livestock.
More than a dozen ships have live animals on board.
Mostly sheep and cattle, lightly sizzling under an Egyptian sun. The Egyptian government has had to dispatch vets to board these ships to tend to the animals' welfare.
I have a surgeon!
A few days ago, when I was a younger man, freight from Asia only cost $8,000 a container. Now it's $12,000. And the impact is being felt by a lot of larger companies. Renault, for example, ran out of some critical components and had to halt assembly at a couple of its plants. Adidas, Nike, IKEA, all saw shortages.
Some of our clients are out of their time.
On one side, you want to say, like, who cares about the billion-dollar companies and all that, right? But as always, you know, like, yeah, they'll be fine, all the rich, you know, executives and all that. The real problem is also not just people getting their, like, you know, shitty Temu stuff, right? It's all the jobs that might be lost, because if this company lose money, what they're cutting is, like, you know, the regular person, right? That's the sad thing about this. Like, yeah, if it's just rich company losing money, who cares? But, you know, if they lose money, they're going to cut a lot of, like, the regular workers, and that's fucked, right?
Selling SKUs
That's the problem.
And as tankers queue, oil prices are rising.
Let my people go through the little waterway, please. And meanwhile, all across the day, the tugs are trying again and again. Move a little more sand, wait for the next high tide, try again. And as this marches on with the same futility as day one, banking on the supermoon looks like a costlier and costlier gamble.
It sounds like too much hope.
Enough of this. Said about 100 ships opting instead to go the long route around Africa, accepting the longer traffic time and piratey risk.
Stay in a convoy, you'll be fine. Supermoon Commerce, day 6. It's the crab.
The supermoon. It's tonight. There's a renewed energy as people scuttle around the area, doing everything they can to prep the ship for the big event. The excavator crew, over the course of the week, has expanded to a team of 11, working double, sometimes triple shifts with only 3 hours a day for sleep.
Damn.
Together with the 2 dredgers, they have moved 30,000 cubic meters of sand and soil. For comparison, this is 1 cubic meter. And this is 30,000 cubic meters. And here's what it looks like next to the Ever Given. That's a lot of sand. Subway sandwich for scale.
And not enough.
And it's borne some results.
Always bigger, the
Overnight,
Subway sandwich.
They managed to free the rudder from the left bank. And that's a big deal, because this rudder was acting as a bit of an anchor in the sand. Now free, the stern bobs around with the motion of the water. Great stuff. Meanwhile, the crew is doing everything it can to lighten the weight of the ship. That includes making a second plea for the ballast water to be ejected. Oh, please, the Smith guy's already tinkled in there. We just can't do it. It would destroy the ecosystem.
Couldn't they, like, I don't know if you could, like, there's a system to put some kind of a, what am I trying to say? Like, rather than really sit directly in the water, like plug in some long cord. I don't have the English word in top of my head right now, and it goes toward land, and I don't know, either like really sit in the sand over there, right, or really sit into something, even if it's slow.
All right. Biodiversity. Let 1,000 algae bloom.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Nice work.
Too much money
That'll
left.
make the ship 9,000 tons lighter, Kenthy. The water's so bright, I can barely see it coming out of the ship. Here, take these. No. I don't deserve them.
Okay.
Sunglasses are for people who redeem themselves. That's not me.
Okay.
Hold on to them, just in case. Into the evening, the pace keeps up. We see Abdullah excavating away. But really, he's thinking about the moon. Rabbi, he's busy taking video calls. But he finds himself distracted with thoughts of the moon. Even Mr. Kaisha. Is there anything in this world that doesn't remind me of her?
Moon.
More breaking
Never
news
actually watched
from
it.
the Suez Canal problem. Evergiver is stuck in the Suez Canal still. It's been almost a week. A tugboat should be able to move Evergiver's big ass. This is Nana Star, Nana Star's news channel.
I don't know if this is a meme or if this is like a real channel.
The
I need to
full
know.
moon shone brightly that night, kissing the nape of the canal's neck with its gravity lips. Full tongue.
I need to look it up. I'm too intrigued. Nana Stars, I think she was called. Stars News Channel. Oh. She is real. And the first video is the one I was looking for. Oh, she's a stand-up comic, okay. And our most video is this one, this one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I guess she's a comedian, so, okay. I thought it was, like, unironically stupid, like, news channel thing.
The canal liked it. And spoiling the romance of the moment is a big fleet of tugboats, watching on voyeuristically. They are 17 in total, with just a bit over 1,600 tons of bollards.
Finally, some numbers.
And here's how they're arranged around the Evergiven.
How did it take
Of
this
the
long?
four most powerful tugs, 2 go at the front and 2 go at the back. They'll be pulling. Another 6 tugs are put on the flanks. 2 over here, 4 over here. They'll be pushing. The remaining tugs are fueled and ready on the sidelines, waiting for their chance to sub in. Positioned like this, when the word is given, all these ships are going to try and turn the Evergiven anti-clockwise.
Imagine they all pull too much, and the ship goes like this and just gets stuck on the other side.
Looks great, guys! Do you think that this is gonna... I believe in the supermoon. This had better work. The guy with the ruler down by the shoreline yells out, "The tide has hit its peak!" El Sayed commands over the radio. Start main engines. Tension on.
As much as I like alternative story animation, I'm sure there's footage of this. This is the kind of part where I'd rather see the real footage.
Power from the tugs meet the resistance of the Evergiven. It was at this point that the narrator said something really poetic. Stuff about the night. About how the ships were like dancers on the water. For juxtaposition, we cut away to that crab again.
It's the crab.
which everybody hated. It's like a metaphor if you think about it. The tugs are sliding to the left. They're sliding to the right. It's not working! Diesel fumes fill the air as the tugs keep increasing their power. The water violently foams behind the tugs. Everyone is staring at the back of that ship.
No
Come
sing.
on. Move. This goes on for minutes. More minutes. Even more minutes. An hour. 2. 4 hours. By 4:30 a.m., the moon's power is starting to wane, and there is very little progress. Don't give up. The tide only goes down so that we can rise once again. Your moon gambit has cost Egypt dearly, El Said. Guards, prepare the sarcophagus with the beetles, like in the... What the hell is that?
Oh no. Is it gonna break the ship?
Under the water, all of this tugging has loosened the sand, the soil, the rock.
Oh shit. It's
the
moving.
sound of metal tensing and flexing. The ship is beginning to move. It is coming free from the bank. The supermoon gives one last...
This is like the ship version of 127 hours, was it? The guy who cut off his arm stuck under a rock.
How?
Kind of. Not really, but it's kind of like that.
It worked. They pulled the ship from the bank. At the back, at least. Now, the bow is still wedged in there pretty good. But this is progress.
Let's go.
We're halfway to freedom. Keep going.
Freedom.
So they did. All morning.
Damn.
7:30 a.m.
Animation.
The sun is rising. The tugs have been pulling all night. But the most difficult task, freeing the bow of the ship,
We need to
remains
push
beyond them.
with some heavy machinery.
Well, I guess even the moon has its limits. I don't want to hear it, El Said. It wasn't enough. That bow is still stuck. No, Mr. President. They're not saying that the bow is still stuck. They're saying, take a bow. And then something else that rhymes with stuck. I gotta go. They were loading up the missiles for Plan B, as the guys on social media suggested. I lied about the crane thing. This was always the plan, says the Smith guys. You know what, Canterville? I agree. They should just blow us up. What? My career is over now, too. You're the guy who blocked the canal, and I'm the guy who couldn't get it cleared. We've brought instability to the Middle East. But
Nothing new.
enough, Canterville. I raised your hopes with moon-based
Join the long
promises.
line.
But look at the tide. It's low. Low tide. And yet, I am lower still. Canterville looks pensively out the window. And it was at that moment that he had his character arc.
You had an idea, maybe?
He realized that he was the captain. And the captain is always in charge. Shut up, El Said. We shall continue, regardless of the tide. Is that not the Egyptian way? Don't you remember the story, El Said? That every young Egyptian kid is told about the human pyramid? No. Where there's one guy at the bottom who gives up and we all fall down? Heck, it ain't a triangle if you don't try. We need to be strong, together, like a pyramid.
Humanity, let's go.
Giza would have wanted. You're right, damn it. Thank you, Canterville. That's the most inspirational speech I've ever heard in my life. I'll never lose my faith again. And even though you're kind of the worst captain I've ever seen, you're still
You've never
the
seen
best
Scatino.
friend.
Alright then. Beautiful, but how does it help?
So they pressed on all morning, enthusiastically and vigorously tugging away, beating off the fatigue, but to no progress. Okay, everyone, take a break. Copy. We'll have lunch and pick up again in a couple of hours. Then suddenly, one of the Smith guys comes busting into the room. I've got an idea. Everybody turns and looks at the Smith guy. All right, well, sorry about the boring diagram, but take a look at this. Remember how we emptied the ballast tanks before?
Yeah, of course. Well, now that the ship is half floating, what if we refilled the ones at the back on this part of the diagram, where the ship is almost floating? Okay. That way, it will sink lower here and allow the bow to sit up even higher on the bank. Canterville gives El Said a
professionals for nursing.
I got this. I know a guy who owes me a favor. Please, 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 please.
A few hours later, the ballast tanks were filled. And it worked. The bow lifted ever so slightly. It's working, it's working. And it gets better. It's now 2 p.m., and that means high tide.
Guys, I've got another technical issue.
They need to put it from behind, though.
It's easier if I show you with a drone. Hold on, let me try again.
Damn.
All right, you can see the ship is lodged at the front. The guys are pulling, but it ain't budging. However, a lot of force is building up here. And what if it were to break free? The sudden release could propel the ship straight across the water with a hell of a lot of momentum. It could span the entire canal and land on the opposite bank, only to run aground again. Worse still, it could pin these small tugs in its wake.
Damn, poor sandwich.
Dangerous.
That's fucked up.
To solve this problem, they did a bit of a safety briefing, and they got some rope. 4 ropes, actually, tying the bow of the ship to somewhere on the land. The lines look great, guys.
Okay.
With the contingency in place, the tugs start up again. And about an hour later, at 3:05 p.m., movement.
Oh.
The bow began to shift.
Finally.
Okay, that's definitely moving. This is it. It's working. The ship made a big noise as it accelerated from the bank. And at first, excitement and relief.
The bow was coming free.
We good? How does this go wrong?
Remember that concern about the overswing? Well, it's happening.
I was thinking, like, is this going too old? I mean, like, those ropes are nice and all. Also, why the fuck are they using rope and not chains? But, like, is this going too old?
Okay, the only source we found for this part of the story was Bloomberg, but they said that it happened and we wanted to build it. So this recreation is how we imagine it went. The 4 support ropes take strain. Then, snap. One of them breaks. Do you think it's going to hold? I think it's going to hold. Move those tugs out of the way.
Snap. Another rope breaks. Captain El Said.
It's going to hold.
I know there's some extremely strong ropes, right?
But it's going to hold.
But why ropes?
Snap. A 3rd rope breaks.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! A single strand
is the only thing holding this ship from swinging all the way to the other bank and being stuck.
At least it's out the way.
Without even realizing, Canterville grabs El Said's hand and squeezes it tight.
It's gonna hold.
Beautiful.
You're a madman, Canterville. Mad, passionate about this canal, and I ain't afraid of nothing. He said very cold-backedly.
The engines shut off. All that could be heard is the squeak of tightening rope and the scream of torsioning metal.
Sacre bleu, said Abdullah.
But it is slowing down.
He didn't say that.
It comes to a halt.
No one says that.
The final rope held.
They really
Absolute
did it.
Cinema.
And the Ever Given rested easy in the middle of the canal.
Al Said turns to Canterville. Power up the engine.
What a story.
Let's get the ship moving again. I'm on it, says Canterville. All of the tugboats start honking their horns and
I'm still expecting like a final twist of something going
can
wrong.
be heard from the main dredger.
And it's now that it breaks.
In fact, they filmed this celebratory video.
Let's go.
You heard them right, Mr. President. We did it. We did it.
It's free. I told you.
All in a day's work.
You're still fired.
The president takes his finger off the nuke button.
They're all still fired.
Pack it up, boys.
Wow.
I can't believe it. All that digging really must have made a difference. I just... Oh. Good. Everybody hated that crab. We did it, Gene.
I like the crab.
We did it. Gene? Where are you? Captain, who are you talking to? Gene! Captain.
Didn't never
there's
exist.
No Gene on board. Wait a minute.
Ever given.
No.
It's the spirit of the ship.
It's impossible.
Oh, it's
Gene, wait.
Wait, what is it called again? There's a concept in sailing that I learned from One Piece, of course. What is it called? One Piece. It's called a Kloberterman. Yeah, it's basically like Kloberterman. Like a ship spirit representing like the spirit of the ship or the wheel of the ship or something. Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. Yeah, it's a German origin. Yeah, the Kloberterman. Yeah, it's great stuff. I get it.
Thank you. I'll always remember you.
Beautiful. Ever
And
given.
so the canal was clear once again. And
Nice story.
Chop chop. You still got work to do. By 8 p.m., the workday had not finished for the Suez Canal Authority. There's still a backlog of 400 ships waiting to go through the canal.
And then another one
So
crash.
Raddy stands in front of microphones and says, "The canal will be operating around the clock until the queue is cleared." And within a few days, it returned to normal.
Okay.
It was a big accomplishment. Many industry experts thought it would take several months to free the Ever Given, but the crisis was resolved within a mere week. Prepare the sarcophagus for the doubters.
But to be honest, it was more luck, right? It still seems like to me this was more like, they were really not ready to accept the reality of like trying to do this the slow but logical way. So they were just trying like fast and loose solution, just praying it would work. And we see nice that it worked out, but yeah, I don't know.
Even Egypt's president came out and said, "Good job, everybody. You know what? Pizza lunch." And the Suez Canal Authority held a ceremony in honor of the workers who helped to free the ship. And they also made this monument, which you can see on Google Maps.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
But the story doesn't end here. A quick note on the helmsman's penis. Now you, me, and everyone in the press saw that VDR data.
Fragwürdigen Penismanöver genutzt.
But despite how realistic and to scale it was not deliberate. Yes, sheer coincidence. If you watch the VDR data, he really is just dodging the ships, and that's the shape that the path took.
Okay.
So he didn't get in any trouble.
Safe.
The end.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I suppose one
Amazing.
more smaller detail. Now that the Ever Given is free, what's going to happen to it? And what's going to happen to the crew?
Right.
Well, the Ever Given was tugged over to Great Bitter Lake, where they determined that the ship was seaworthy and not in any urgent need of repair. But it's also going to be impounded. Oh no. Hey, there's, like, police boats outside. Why? What did you do?
This ship and its crew is now subject to the indefinite detention by the authority of the Egyptian government.
Yeah,
Until
couldn't
you
be that
pay
simple.
us, the Ever Given may not leave, says the Suez Canal Authority. Yes, we will be holding on to the Ever Given. It's our view that there was no wrongdoing on the part of the Suez Canal Authority or its two pilots, and it was all the crew of the Ever Given.
Of course, they don't want to take any blame.
So their ship will be held until the parent company agrees to rightfully pay us for all of the costs incurred.
There's no way, right?
Ruh-roh. Now here's where things get very complicated, and there is a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. But
Yeah.
the crux is this. The Suez Canal Authority says, "Dear Ever Given owners, you owe us $900 million.
No way.
And Shoei Kisan-Kaisha says, no way. How many yen is that? No way.
So by April 13th, some of the crew was allowed to leave, but a lot of them have to stay. And there's a certain nervousness in the air. Large legal battles can go on for a while.
Yes, and obviously, you know, like, be it for like your own company or the, you know, Suez Canal authorities, like, for all of them, it would be much simpler to put the blame on the crew members, you know, like, you know, and the crew members, there's not much they can do. They're like just regular workers, right? So if I was one of them, I'd just be terrified. Yeah, I mean, I've got literally nothing to fight, and I could be just used as a scapegoat. Sure, I made some mistake, but a lot of people made mistake. You'd be sweating bullets.
And there was already a bad example of this just a few dozen kilometers away. The MV Aman.
Oh yeah, they talked about this. I forgot.
The MV Aman is a much smaller vessel, and it has been abandoned for years, detained by the Egyptian government in 2017 for expired safety equipment.
That's
They were told to replace the equipment and pay a fine. However, there was no one to replace the safety equipment or to pay the fine because the shipping company went broke.
Oh.
$900 dues.
So they just abandoned the vessel. There was no way for the legal situation to advance. And that meant that there was no way for the ship to be released. Most of the crew had to stay on the ship, and they would keep them there for more than a little while. 13 months before a judge finally decided, all right, look, just leave the keys with one guy.
Insane.
We'll call him the custodian, and everybody else can go home. Now, that custodian was a Syrian man named Muhammad Aisha. Look, he's holding the keys. He's holding the keys. You have to stay on the ship now. Everybody else got to leave.
That's insane. Like, what even is the point? It's just one guy.
But he had to stay. On top of the 13 months he'd already been there, he spent the next 3 years aboard the ship.
What the fuck?
The ship ran out of fuel. Which
like, alone 90% of the time, I assume. That's insane.
Meant it ran out of power. Which meant it ran out of running water. No refrigeration either. Food ran out. Every few days, Mr. Aisha would be allowed to swim onto the shore to get food.
I mean, I was going to say, like, I'm sure it's not the safest water, but fuck. At that point, I mean, like, I'm literally trying to swim away. Like, yeah. That's insane.
Water, charge his phone, but he was only permitted for about 2 hours until they would tell him to scoot. Would this be the same fate
what
for
the
the
fuck?
ever-given crew?
Poor guy.
They did not know. But we do, so let me tell you. A few more weeks passed, and the negotiations continued. You guys had those 2 bickering pilots. Yeah, but the captain's always in charge. Sorry, who didn't arrange for tugboats while we were going through?
Not if, like, the whatever VDR thing they called, right? That recorded probably the conversation and all that isn't released because, yeah, it makes the Egyptian side looks bad because, you know, it's probably like, you know, both sides were like not doing great, but they claim that, you know, it's only the fault of the crew, so that's probably why it wasn't released.
The canal? Oh, that was you guys. I'm going to put 20,000 containers on one of the largest ships in the world and go double the speed limit, then complain about tugboats. But eventually, they all got together in a big room, and they went, I'm sorry about all those things I said and those emails I sent. I didn't mean it. I was tough on you as well. They embraced. They made amends. They made love. And they agreed,
well,
all right, you can keep using the canal, but
that's the art of the deal.
We get to go fishing on the boat. That's fair. That's tough, but that's fair. They shook on it. It was an Egyptian handshake. They do the thing with the elbow. There was a mummy.
What the fuck? Minecraft sound.
This story sucks. By September, the crew was allowed to return home. They only got MV Aman a little bit. And that guy on the MV Aman, he got to go home too.
Why not?
Poor guy. And I'm guessing he probably didn't get, like, you know, anything out of this. Like, tell me he at least got, like, paid a lot for the fucking sacrifice.
Get out of here, you scamp. The Ever Given made its delivery to
Ta-da.
Rotterdam. They did it! All the cargo is here! Although, it wouldn't hurt to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Canterville can...
It's really, like, what's scary about all this, right? Myself, like, years ago, I got the forklift license. And at first, you know, I was planning to work in places where they needed me to pilot forklift. But, you know, the week I did to get the license, it was already kind of like, it dawned on me right away how terrifying it kind of is, right? Like, even just moving one container with a forklift, there's like sometimes thousands of dollars worth of something inside. Let's say it's like wine, you know what I mean? You know, just the thought of fucking up and dropping it was terrifying, which, like the first place I got hired after getting it, we were like dealing with lavender, right? So it was maybe not as expensive. You know, container filled with a bag of lavender and lavender product. So even if I dropped it, it might not have been as bad. But in the end, you know, it was kind of like lucky because I was kind of terrified to actually pilot the forklift. And the senior worker there was extreme about not letting anyone else touch the forklift. So in the end, I never actually got to use my license and it expired. And I'm kind of glad because, again, it's on a much smaller scale, but, you know, it's kind of terrifying, you know, as a worker, bottom of the barrel, handling extremely expensive stuff, you know.
Continued his career in shipping. It wasn't the end. Maybe just one more for the road.
Oh, hell no.
It's a great time to be a cargo ship captain. I can tell you that much. Al Said returned the Lunexicon back to the Sphinx. Thank you, old friend.
Okay, so no one really got arrested,
And
honestly.
the Ever Given had some minor repairs done to the bow over in Qingdao Port in China. And then she was ready to set sail again.
Okay. It's surprisingly ended kind of
The Ever
perfect.
Given was released back into the wild. It sailed into the sunset. Ever
And it's
since
the
then,
end.
global trade has improved. Prices have gone down. The economy flourished once again. Food returned to the supermarkets.
Are you sure about that?
Mothers clutched their babes. A litter of puppies.
Nice.
And peace was finally restored to the Middle East.
Fix the noise.
Forever.
Amazing surgical procedure.
The end.
Wow.
Thanks again to Sailey, the easy way to get data on your phone when you're overseas. And 15% off? Now that's a good
What a
deal.
story, Mark. That's all I can say. What a bloody story. Yeah. Again, I guess I had heard of it, but like literally just the news, and I didn't really care that much, right? So all I knew is that the ship had crashed or something, and that's about it. Definitely glad no one died. Very surprised that no one seemed to have been like, you know, used as a scapegoat or anything like that, you know? Maybe some part of that story didn't get told here. But yeah, one other story. Super interesting. Yeah. I think the most interesting thing was like using the stuff with the moon and the sun. I would have never thought of that, and it's super interesting. Yeah. Crazy story. Crazy story. That's a full movie documentary. I mean, again, I don't know how much of it was embellished. Like it said that a good amount was. Obviously, I'm sure all the conversation and all that aren't actually real, but yeah. As far as the events, yeah. Really, really something. Okay. Okay. I mean, super interesting documentary. We've definitely moved from like the days of like internet historian video about, you know, like internet stuff, right? Be it stupid stuff like Shia LaBeouf, 4chan, Tumblr, furries, you know. I feel like we've kind of moved from that. And I can't lie that I don't really miss like shorter videos, like 10, 20-minute videos about like a more focused, simple event, right? But Man in the Cave was great, Concordia was great, this was great. you know, good development. And again, I haven't seen the Street Fancies video, but maybe I should watch them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong that they're like in the style of the second channel. Anyway, amazing stuff. Quite enjoyed watching this.